Today I'm going to be showing you a recipe for fudgy vegan brownies that use silken tofu as a binder and source of richness and moisture. The dry ingredients are all-purpose flour, cocoa powder, cornstarch, baking powder, and salt. The wet ingredients are plant milk, I use soy but you can use whatever, silken tofu, vanilla, sugar, yes, sugar is treated as a wet ingredient here, and a neutral oil, I use canola. For equipment, I highly recommend that you use a food scale since it makes things way easier and more precise, but I'll also be giving volume measurements so you can use measuring cups and spoons if that's all you have. I'm using a stand mixer. You can do this with a whisk by hand or using an egg beater if you want though. You'll need another bowl for dry ingredients as well as a spatula, which I'll show later, and you might want some spoons sitting out to help you move ingredients around. Preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit now. Start off by adding 6 ounces of silken tofu. This is about half a cup or about 40% of a block of silken tofu that I show here. Then add 1.5 ounces of vanilla. This is about 3 tablespoons, and it doesn't really need to be that precise. Then add 7 ounces of neutral oil. This is about a cup, maybe just slightly more than a cup. And then 4.5 ounces of plant milk, which is about half a cup. And lastly, add 17 ounces, about 1 pound and 1 ounce of sugar. This is close to 2 cups or maybe just a touch more than 2 cups. Now we need to get this blended together really well. I do this in my stand mixer by going on low for 2 minutes, then raising the intensity for 2 minutes, and lastly raising again for 2 more minutes. This breaks up the tofu really well, works some air in for volume, and ensures everything is well mixed. You can do this with an egg beater or by hand if you're ambitious and confident. For the dry ingredients, start with 10.5 ounces of flour. This is about 2 cups or maybe slightly more than 2 cups. Then add 3.25 ounces of cocoa powder, which is about 1 cup. Then 0.75 ounces of cornstarch, which is about 2 tablespoons. Then add 0.25 ounces of baking powder, which is about 1¼ teaspoons. And then 0.25 ounces of salt, which is about half a teaspoon. Mix the dry ingredients with a spatula so it's even, and then carefully pour the dry ingredients into the wet. One time my hand slipped and I spilled about half this flour mixture on my counter. Needless to say, I was not happy. I'm a lot more careful now, using the spatula to carefully center and pour the dry ingredients over time. And once that's done, I use the stand mixer to stir things together for just about a minute. With that done, I spray a big glass baking tray with nonstick spray. You can also rub it thoroughly with vegan butter or regular butter. This will help the brownie release well and not stick once it's baked. I then use my spatula to scrape the dry flour off the walls of the bowl and into the wet batter. Then I fold this around for a bit to ensure an even mixture. Now pour and scoop your batter into your baking tray. Use your spatula to scoop things around and get them in. This brownie is incredible and you won't want to leave a lot of batter behind. I have many sleepless nights remembering the streaks of batter stuck to the bowl that could have made it to my brownie. Just kidding, but only kind of partially. Anyways, once you get the batter into the tray, use your spatula to smooth it on top and make it even. You want an even thickness so it bakes at a constant rate. Then slide this into the middle of your 325-degree preheated oven. It'll go for 30 to 35 minutes, but we're going to rotate after 20 minutes. At 20 minutes, come rotate the tray 180 degrees so it can cook evenly. After 10 more minutes or 30 minutes total, come check on your brownies. If they look like mine, they're going to be delicious, fudgy, and rich, with the middle a cross between a brownie and a molten chocolate cake. If you want them to be a bit more set than that, still fudgy but closer to brownie all around than molten chocolate cake, go for another 5 minutes or 35 minutes total, at which time the middle will look a bit more solid and lifted. This brownie needs to cool for at least 30 minutes so it can settle and firm up a little, and it will be fully set by 1 hour after baking. And this brownie is great. When I make this for people, they typically can't believe that it's vegan. They say things like, "How do you get so fudgy without eggs?" Or, "You're sneaking something weird and processed in here to get this texture, aren't you?" But no, this is just an amazing brownie, and it lasts several days in an airtight container on the counter. It'll still be fudgy and moist the whole time. I swear. It retains moisture and resists going stale better than any brownie recipe I've made over the years, including ones with egg. I have another variation of brownies I make that is cakier, and uses chocolate chips instead of being all cocoa powder. I'm debating whether to upload that or not, so please let me know if you'd like to see that in the comments below. Also leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.